So, with the latest update that has surfaced in the past 3 hours, it is glaring that greed and lack of loyalty, envy, is part of what caused the demise and, of course, the secret of the demise of Promise Aloba, aka Mobad. It is so sad, really sad. When I say sad, believe me, it is beyond human comprehension how deep the heart of man and woman can be. Welcome once again to Justice for Mobad. Well, there are certain people who, unfortunately, somehow, I don't know, maybe by omission or by some other means, they were not brought to the inquest. And it's not as if they were brought to the inquest, they would not have lied. After all, the corroboration of stories, that's what I want to call it, that whoever it is that was brought forward said is not even being investigated as it should be. But anyway, Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and some couple of others like Prime Boy, they were allowed to go. Why? Because there was no link directly or indirectly to whatever it is that could have caused the demise of Mobad. Now, what exactly is the cause of Mobad's unaliving? Is it spiritual or it's a physical thing? Ladies and gentlemen, when you are in a climb, in a society where justice is only served when there is money involved, when justice is only served when the elites are involved, when those who could determine if your job stays or not are involved, it becomes dicey. You are living on a thin string that could cut at any time. There is no hope for you. There is no hope at all that you will get justice. But we need to change the narrative. We cannot keep saying in a society, in a climate where things work, we have to force their hands to play and dance according to the tune that we dictate. You're about to be introduced into a new dimension. This dimension that you're about to experience. Well, I want you to stay put. It's going to be a roller coaster. Please like and share, and let us see what this private investigator, what have they unraveled? What have they unraveled? It is deep. Let us go right into it.
These guys, it's just that some of these boys, they have no choice. Greed. They cannot be loyal because there is nothing like half loyalty. They sold him out. Mobad in the column, I want to guess who going to sell it out. The Bible it is to imbibe core knowledge and the basic tenets of life. Big Jesus Judas Iscariot. Oh no, the Mobad is spending. The only thing he was doing was just talking a parable. Who confuse music accordingly? Plenty enemy, where they follow me. My girl come me, even if not 9 minutes. He had that 9 minutes. Can you tell you see the show? Maybe he would have made a detour. Despite the fact I want to want to show. Maybe he would have found a way, but could this squad to like bearing because even go abroad, but she won't come after me. Come after him. A meeting money more in the UK. Timon Sa, I want to do you know who these people are? Adura like baby on bon by. When they were going to come. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí amúdàmọ́lá tó lo kìíní mẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe gbígbà ẹ̀ ló ṣe wedding bó ló ti rówó ṣe wedding ọ̀gá onífújì ló wá kọrin bẹ̀ when you see the squad of ọgbọ́n yẹn àtàwọn ọba tá à ń sọ ìtọ́ ti tẹ̀lé aṣíwájú tẹ́lẹ̀ ọgbọ́n yẹn ni wọ́n ti gbé wọn sórí iná wọ́n yẹn sọ pé wọ́n gbé wọn kaná yẹn those in the intelligent community they know the language when they were making calls nígbà tí Mohbad kú early stage using aṣíwájú's name to make a whole lot of mess wọ́n ti gbé wọn kaná. I don't know how people can be that reckless. The president of Nigeria. You need to be very, very discreet when you're discussing cases of how to package it. Very dark my law, case file from the Directorate of Public Prosecution. Don't copy from legacy media. So how are you doing? So to fight for justice, it's not a joking matter. You need to be willing and ready to risk your everything for the cause of humanity and for the progress of your country. So let me give another person to speak. Come on, Dele Sings. Are you there?
Yes, please. Thank you so very much, Mr. Fabi and Fabi. It's been a long time following from the days of Igiarwe. And
I didn't do Igiarwe.
Yes, I think
my movie was Omiadagun before Igiarwe there. Or thereabouts. Yes.
I participate in Igiarwe now.
No, I never did.
Oh,
Ajorawani.
Oh, wow.
Femi Fade.
Apologies.
Omiadagun was mine.
Yes, that was a mixed up. Yes. However, of course, you brand name Olani in Nigeria movie, and it's most appreciated that you're fighting for the cause of humanity. I was coming to the UK. I was even on the plane when I heard about the death of Mobad. I never knew about this guy earlier before that time, and of course, that guy. Ori Bobo Malatile to the extent and most importantly, and when you know because when you look at Nigerian justice system, next year and I can just imagine what the guy will be doing now, seeing that we are still on that very course, and it's most appreciated. In Kotokan disheartening. Okay, if everybody tell us we are looking for whosoever or those that are involved in the dealings of this guy, everybody collaborate in it. But most times, in Nigeria, I want come at the day for the same cause. I want to judge the day for the same cause. I want to my bara. See, my concern now is that is there a trophy that is meant for whosoever is able to discover something? I don't know. So, eventually.
Now, let me quickly chip in that. And, it's part of those things that, informed my own intervention at the early stage. Maybe all of you are not paying attention. When Mobad died, there was so many concerns. People were like, oh, why are you not talking? Do something. And the 12th, where the matter is very much loud, on Instablog, I was there, firing on all cylinders. And the moment I'm beginning to pick up pieces, they were sending stuff to me. An account was sending, and I was seeing some videos online. Stuff. I said, okay, fine. What we have here, proper investigation is very required. And then I quickly put up a letter through my NGO. We wrote to the governor of Lagos State, asking him to be the lead investigator in this matter. You understand? And then at that point, I realized that things were going, louder. We're making that noise. And I published my ticket. I was on the world tour then. I published my ticket and said, we're going to be having a serious protest if nothing is done. And that NSAS is going to be a dress rehearsal. If I didn't make mention of that, they won't understand that we're damn serious. That NSAS will be a dress rehearsal to what we have, because they know immediately. Police will look into the matter, what kilo shele, anti-mobility, preliminary stuff, and then the Yabo Ojo Tonto DK, they swung into the, and I started hearing, she started updating. I'm like, okay, fine. Let me lay back. And I laid back because I don't want competition. I don't want trophy. The most important thing is justice for Mobad. But I know the spirit of that boy, of course, touched and said, please speak for me. This spirit is my Akojani. And to my physiologically, for me. And then they took it up, and I was monitoring it. I was following up, putting up comment, and I saw that they went to the CP. They took themselves. She doesn't have a human rights NGO. Majority of people are activists like human rights NGO. You can't just set up a charity organization and call it human rights. To about this stage, you call in the course of pursuing a matter, one must throw it out. You are not licensed or approved. Oh, so NGO, human rights. Your constitution does not even say that is what you want to be doing. On call for people, they rely on social media alone. They can't fight the real battle. Iyabo Ojo has Pinky Foundation. It's just to bring girls together, do charity, give people food, because Nisha Pelu fighting for human rights. So at the end of the day, she was mentioning that she had some other human rights NGO. Okay, we have other human rights organization here. I was not ready to investigate. I did there. What's my own? What matters most is that Mobad should get justice. So for the avoidance of competition, or people will be looking at Kini Yomiso, Kini Yaboso, Talove Glidi, Talove Yoga, I stayed back, thinking that she would stand and fight through to the end. When you saw the way she called out the right people, and everybody, swung into action, and police were like, oh, everybody did it. Especially when Tontune, a larger social media platform. It's only 6 million followers are big. Everybody was news yet to carry good. And then I realized that they were not protesting again. They only turned it to walk and stuff like that. Okay, no problem. Since the governor already issued a statement, he said he had engaged the DSS and all of that. And they started inviting back, okay, Samilari Parasilegin. I've been asking the question long. So far, I got Samilari Pro Nigeria. I get what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, they got them back in. They were arrested. Who told them the story that Prime Boy Iba Mobad Iba Prime Boy Ija? Somebody did. It's either Wunmi or Adura, but most importantly Wunmi. But I have said it over and over. Mobad only for glass. Coffee a shake bag glass. Maybe two almost human same car. He won't eat his fist to the the windshield, and then it got broken. Splash into the car, splash into the compound of the Ikorodu town hall, and the entire security apparatus and the organizers will not shake up, because the attention was called to whatever happened between Prime Boy and Mobad, according to Prime Boy. So if there was broken glass, apart from the fact that you guys might not see his statement, it would certainly, as an organizer, you would tell police what role you played in fixing the car or checking on the welfare of the baby. And that was what I told Supo Ibrahim. And then this Lati Ahmed, when we went to party first time, I said that home officer, you don't have to come and do this before me. Show me in the statement form where everybody around that stuff that day, they showed concern to the baby, 5-month-old. He said none. Because it never happened there. Because even the organizers will put it in their statement that immediately they will not be concerned about Mobad Prime Boy first. Wunmi will scream out and they will be checking the baby. She glass or ṣé kò wọnú ẹnu ẹ̀ ṣé kò wọnú ara ẹ̀ ṣé kò sí lára ṣọ́ọ̀lù kó má bàa gun later. That is going to be the part of the testimony. And there is no way the organizers will not be looking in paying the driver. Because will it even make any sense? They want to start going. And it will have led to pandemonium. Because Mobad going alone will go with noise. Because they were already scampering around Mobad. So ba lo she boy re oko butter láti join yẹn even de leni kó sọ pé glass yẹn photo to bí àwọn ọmọ Korodu ṣe wà ṣé bá àwọn Korodu ló wà ńbẹ̀ ṣá ọmọ Alimosho ló máa kúrò l'Alimosho wá wo show tí wọ́n ṣe ń Korodu so kò sọmọ Korodu kankan tó wà àti tó tẹ̀lé Mobad lọ because they were asking money from Mobad. They were still there wọ́n ṣá ti gbowó. The Darushas and Adura said they went to go and collect money. So the people that wanted to collect money must still be waiting around Mobad. So no boys here. I can't imagine that they deceived the public to this extent. And I told the police officer, I said, so please delete me from those people you are cajoling with this nonsense that Mobad broke the glass inside the Korodu Town Hall. I'm not going to be buying that. It never happened, and there is no testimony from anybody, none of the eyewitnesses. I'm not saying the glass did not break. It might have broke as a result of the fight between Wunmi and Mobad on their way in the motor, because the band tirayin to le fori le fe gba Wunmi lese no motor gba kowo eye ko for glass yen lati nu le. I can understand that. Because according to the testimony of Spending, the violence was so much that Wunmi dropped Liam on the the floor of the car. It means the violence was much. And that was what the driver also echoed. But the question is, Kilo Faija. Did she started the fight to establish a prima facie as to why something will happen to the guy? I wanted, okay, domestic violence. Or whatever it is, I don't know. They know me. But along the line, if Mobad was equally bleeding in that Ikorodu town hall, the show organizers can never be so stupid and callous. And if I treat Mobad a star boy, could just I want to tell you Mobad Gongolo Shishilobe, town hall yellow Matilowa, where you are treated below hospital, party Korodu General Hospital, she wambe. So Iru profusely bleeding, the Mobad mama bleed, to mama bleed, it off a day, because the cut lower. When the vein is cut, the next thing is the blood. So if he was bleeding profusely, we did not bled profusely, and they got home. He bled profusely, almost about 2-3 hours. Koto de leki, ontuwa wonule. Owashe wa di 3 hours after. Washe wa rush jade pe Mobad is bleeding. Which bleeding again? She bleeding here, on tap bleeding here. But to delay 3 hours after, I got to she tap away any. Or walking here, no, but she is bleeding here. Or walking here, no, I need the time meta. No, because Wunmi fought Mobad at that point in time. He be told to Laurie Mole to share again. But Wunmi denied Mobad being taken to the hospital. It's already in the statement in the police station, and of course, it was substantiated by the coroner inquest. Omuno denied. So Mobad law to fulfill the desire of some certain people. So Mobad law see hospital to get medical attention. And and whatever happened after then, Adura is in the right position to stand in the dock and tell the honorable judge, because the prosecutor will say, can you, Mr. Adura Bemi Shedra Kaloba, exactly how you told us in the police station what happened on that day? Start by telling the honorable judge. Alayeta Adura Bashi ni a judge ni case yema sunle lori. Do you understand? That is why they deceived me after we've raised money for the extension. Wọ́n ṣe wò pé àdúrà ní kẹ́ má jẹ́ kọ́ mú òun lè ṣe gbogbo wọ́n ṣe ń sunkún tó bá ti involve àdúrà ìyá yẹn ṣe ń protect àdúrà bàbá yẹn ṣe lóhun òrí àdúrà kò ṣe pé kò mọ̀ bí tá àdúrà wà. he wants to, many things are involved. And at the end of the day, on what see Mobad, on the day Mobad was going to be buried, there was still synergy between Mr. Joseph Aloba and Omomi, Cynthia Adebanjo, and the rest of the guys in the house that killed this boy. They packaged everything because the doctor's report was readily available. I have evidence from Kuramed Hospital that they released the doctor's report in earnest. They gave it to the lawyer, Tiwa Wunmi, Ati Darosha, Ati nurse on that day. And for whatever it is, your show makes sense. If you go to the police, what did you go and do? If you claim you went there to report suspicious death of your son, you saw duvet soaked with blood, you saw broken railings, you saw Wunmi's eyes swollen up, you realized that Adura was not speaking, you saw all of that. If you write that in your statement, you have already established a serious criminal angle into the situation that would probably lead to the death of that victim. Then the police will say, where is the body? Oh, this suffer me, no follow my brother. One on one, baba go to suffer me, go gbe okun yen, egbe lo pe fe lo fi report ni. Nbo lo tin gbe oku lo, eyan ku sunu le. Solopa lo pa sunu le ni, te se nro oku lo ba won be, se stray bullet lo ba ni. Le se fe protest pẹ̀lú body yen lo. Se ru baba yen ma wa gbe body. Awa no lo police station lati lo se kini. Kolopa le deposit sunu cell abi. But you all choose to be deceived. And we're trying to correct the narrative that this is justice we are seeking. Irrespective of I'm a carpenter, can you just calm down and let's let the public know the right thing to be done? That in situation like this, you can't carry the body. Will be on the body. Police station now. If you saw the duvet of the victim, the duvet of his bedroom, thought it was soaked with blood, so you are now carrying the same body, will be taken to a police station, and police will say, go. You are deceiving the public. You are working for these people that killed the boy so that you can be paid. And I'm saying that at the end of the day, show me in the statement form where you went to report to the police station and you narrated this to them. I want to see the document. Nobody brought that up because there is none. There is none. So you can't continue to kill this country except that Babeka Omowa Shorire. And that is why we are the ones that would work for our country to get better, for the next generation to fix more where we left. If you don't play a path, no, don't expect the next generation will be having a burden, and that burden is what you are leaving for your children. It be 13 back I won't be too hard. They don't want to sacrifice the way we are sacrificing. And that is why we are now heaping the burden of we just want to run out of the country and to become slaves across the globe. So when they claimed that they went to police station, I am telling you on my honor, the police, if the police now told them, we cannot issue a police report where there is no evidence of confirmation of death. Talo confirm anything sorry, otiku. We can't just what do they I don't think people understand meaning of police reports. Report means that what the police primarily investigated. Okay, we received a complaint from Mr. So and so, and we went there, we saw the body in so, no sign of Kiniko, and Kiniko, blah, blah, blah. And the doctor confirmed. Doctor report, Adaruko doctor is soon reporting it, but certified penny and the person died of natural cause, or the person died of headache. The person Thomas Abul died of headache. There's no way you will accuse anybody that the doctor was headache lopa. That means the person died of medical personal cause. Then they can now say, based on the report of the doctor, we are now release the body for the family to bury according to Islamic rites, or because the family said he's young and he needs to be buried on time. That is what will be in the report. So when they show police on the road, see police about on the road about police reports. Okay, doctor, social station. Oh, okay. But police are called one shot Mobad. àbí wọ́n yìn níbọn ẹ wá ń gbé òkú yẹn lọ kí ló dé ń gbé lọ. How can police ask you to say go and bury when they saw evidence of Mobad was stabbed or Mobad was shot and the neck was broken? Tó bá wà nù doctor's report. There is no way they will release the body for the Baba. So how can you claim you got into the house, you saw duvet soaked with blood, they embalmed him quickly? All of this package story, and I can tell you all for free, forget about it. Mobad was murdered on the 11th, not on the 12th. Iyato Bigon on the 11th, Monday. Doctors' reports, Megeji, never even said they saw Mobad alive. Wunmi lied on national TV and said they took Mobad to the hospital, and after 20 minutes, they now confirmed he was dead. You are using English to play us. I saw that criminal. She's indirectly telling you that boya kusile ni o, boya later agba to ti ku tawon gbe debe lo se gbogbo nkan to wa ise yewo after to pari ayewo won lo se certify epoku. That's the English language, which is ambiguous. I just kept looking at her and said, this girl is a real con artist and is terrible criminal. Agbo adonwo asarailu ìdààmú ẹni tó bá ti gbàdúrà rẹ̀ fọmọ tó bí ṣàkọ mọ̀ pé jọkọ̀ bíṣọ́rì ọmọ ìjọ tó bá ti ráyè kò fi ibi tó fẹ́ kọ́ sí ọmọ yẹn kò lè ráyè gbé. And that is the plain truth. That is what they did to say, let's destroy this guy's name. And we justice seekers kò ń ṣe gbóyàn ló ní pedigree láti dúró tán. Ẹlòmíì kò gbọ́ pé activism ń fún yàn ní good name. Let me show that I'm bold. I can attack. No. Can you, whatever you say, you expose, can you follow it up? That is the hallmark of activism.
Can I quickly hold you on something, sir?
Go ahead, please.
Apologies for cutting you off.
No, it's okay.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Fabi. One, Chef Fipe, there can still be some element of justice to all of these things owing to the number of years totally lingered. That is one. Two, Chef believe our parties were compromised as regards to anything that will lead us to justice. And are there people you can call out? And okay, magic answer, if I'll press it further.
And there is pathway to justice because the only thing that has been militating against the core justice is the hanky-panky of the wife and the immediate family members of this boy. The morale of the justice law enforcers are low because the current standard of prosecuting crimes like this require any to follow up. Do you understand? Because that is still the system of policing that we have now. Most cases, them have a criminal who escape, and you don't want that kind of matter to be swept under the carpet. Even if you escalate it on social media, do you have the proclivity, the honesty, and the tendency to follow it up? Do you have the machineries to follow such case up? The moment tí àwọn ọlọ́pàá yẹn ti realize pé lára àwọn tó tún wá ń twist àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó ń gbé owó wá on behalf of àwọn tí wọ́n jọ wà ní case are the immediate family members. So if we start this case, how will we get Adura to testify against these people? Nígbà tí ìyá tó bí àtàbí already àti sọ̀rọ̀. And then the public don't pariwo pé they want justice. They all sit on social media. Nobody is coming to pressure us. So how do we pursue this case? And when they already at shit, we can hold them. But they are coming with money to bribe the professionals and investigators. And the integrity of the force is continuing to be questioned because it's not still properly structured. The Nigerian people don't believe in justice. They don't have the technical ability to hold the institutions accountable. Because any little shakara or majuole. So that was why it was looking like Mobad will not get justice. And that is why you need strong NGOs that will be unbiased and can be able to say we are risking our all to fight and stand. And coachiable in Yalason, Ogodo NGO, Tony strong platform offline. Ibiti Ogoyo ti mo yatonu, and Tony a national or global platform offline. See social media platform. Social media platform, you can escalate it 2-3 weeks. The same public don't they want to hear another gist. But offline, if you have the technical ability, you can pursue the way we are pursuing and look at the steps we are taking. The pressure was enough to ensure that in case it want to party, bobo in Leko with packaging, spending, and the nurse only. Turns out to now got reinvestigated and 8 suspects, the genuine killers of Mobad, and the real crimes committed by each of them is now being what? Toned out. She's been investigated for theft, murder, criminal conspiracy, and concealment of evidence. That never came true because police just want to. It's part of their preliminary investigation and report.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I also just ask?
Have I answered the second question? Is it down here? Because
yeah. All right.
You spoke about what's the second question? Because me college.
Okay, I remember I spoke about whether there is still a pathway to justice. And
so the pathway go to one.
And
the pathway what involve now when you apply the legitimate pressure.
If some people are compromised and if you can call out those people, yeah.
No, we'll call out, but not now. Time in the Google, and you need some backup. If you took up a case and then you realize that this case is not completely investigated, it requires to be reinvestigated, and you have a legal backing to pursue matters of public importance. In the course of you doing that, to bang evidence jadi. To buy a back end there, you will call them verify. I get saying, but to buy the person that will authenticate it are the law enforcers. So if you come to social media and start showing it, the next thing you will do is that I want to my they will be asking you, oh yeah, my boy. Because on you a debate. But now that we understand the meticulous way to pursue this kind of a case, we're doing that. If you see the need to do it, all I will do is we'll do our own part. But don't involve me. I cannot destroy. Somebody like Irashiwaju, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I can't do that. Or the seat of the president, I can't do that. Not because I cannot, but more his chances are, let me say 90% are, that he is not the order from above. They are only using his influence or his name or people or whatever. But if they want to prove it, they can deal with Nigerians after we have escalated and given a proper foundation for the case, offline and online. However, that being said, the time when we'll call out these people, with a proper judicial backup, government will call out two cases, that is when we'll now call out those we need to call out. So the same to Mashele. Nothing will happen because the fact that we know what truly happened, and the police have the right order from the presidency and the courts, and they still want to sweep it under the carpet. The public are already legitimately aggrieved, and we have reason to accuse people for what we know they did. And if you think we are lying, then go to court and do whatever nonsense you want to do. You still get yourself messed up. But only timing, then they approach. Only more result so then they slow her down. To buy because one of people will go in a legal backup, judicial support. They might start using the judiciary because judiciary long way. But in a case whereby they said, I'm a people when they give order in your honor, and a lot of people are there alone, or they will buy don't and you're buying a lawyer to pay ọba báyìí ló ń ṣe báyìí, ọba báyìí ló ń ṣe báyìí, nǹkan báyìí ló ti sọ. Then you escalate and dá owó ẹrú. Tó bá dẹ̀ di pé wọ́n nǹkan ṣe wọ́n gbà yẹn tó jó palace tó pa ẹni. They can't blame anybody because why would the police refuse to obey the court and the presidency? Òun ló lead sí Nepal tẹ̀rí yẹn. So instead of even calling their names, wọ́n kọ́ máa rí pé lójijì àwọn ohun tó ń fẹ́ lò yẹn wọ́n kọ́ máa títí kọ́ máa dàrú ni wọ́n á blọ́ọ̀kì third mainland bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n kọ́ máa blọ́ọ̀kì aláwọ̀sá kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí ọlọ́pàá òfin ṣe kí nìkan ọlọ́pàá tó bá pàdé wàhálà bẹ̀rẹ̀. Nobody will blame the public there. Ọ̀hún announce fún ìjọba mọ́ orúkọ yẹn because ìjọba gan fúnra ẹ̀ gan ti ṣe mistake and the presidency, the national security adviser, didn't we tell you, Your Excellency, sir, these people that your people are the ones I'm twisting the national security and intelligence reports. We should have prosecuted these people long time ago. Do you understand now?
Among many other cases that he push, of course, there is one to the person you fought for.
Hey, láti àárọ̀ tàbí rojọ́ yìí àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ ń gbọ́ ẹjọ́ lọ ní 31,000 látẹ̀kọ́ 31,000 likes. Brother bẹ́ẹ̀.
Yes, sir.
Bóyá kẹ́yìn ní sùúrù ẹjọ́ kọ́ bá mi power tap kọ́ máa lọ flag mi.
All right.
Because you are beginning to ask deeper questions. Please, the least you can do is, even if you are in the FYP, come in, join the club. Our community here, just click on it, send and show solidarity. It's going to make a whole lot of sense and it's going to help us going further. Let's do that for like 5 minutes, please. Join the fan club, send it. I appreciate you. Thank you in advance. This for you. Thank you so much, God Almighty. Thank you for joining the fan club. Thank you for joining the Arts Me. And then you can share, you can do let's part up, let's take it to like maybe 50, 60,000. Thank you so much, Nayoshi. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's do that for 5 minutes. Then we'll go on. Thank you, Gifted Baba. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if anybody is streaming, so I don't want to play music. So the interim, while you are power tapping, let's just take time to okay, we're at 38,000. When we get to 50,000, we'll continue the conversation. Come on, we want to like they think people don't.
This thing is make I go forward. You don't understand? This one, I like. I won't do now. I'll check the legs.
And in the search for justice, a federal high court in Abuja will give a verdict at the end of September on calls to reopen the investigation into the cause of death of singer Lerolua Ababa, also known as Mobad. Justice James Motoshaw fixed the date after hearing submissions filed by the Break the Silence Foundation. In the lawsuit, the Inspector General of Police, the Nigeria Police Force, and the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, are listed as respondents. None were present in court.
This is a mandamus proceeding, and our case is against the Nigerian police that they should reopen the investigation into the causes of the death of Lerolua, that is popularly known as Mobad. So if you are coming in as an applicant, you must demonstrate before the court that one, you have interests. In this suit, you never told the court that you are a police officer. You didn't tell the court that you are one of the people that sponsoring this proceeding. You just say, okay, you want the court to join you in the proceeding. So it is a kind of abusive process. And luckily, the court, even without looking at our own process, so Motu on his own dismiss the application is a height of abuse of court process.
Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed September 29, 2026 for judgment in a suit seeking to compel the Inspector General of Police and other police authorities to reopen investigations into the death of singer Iriolua Aloba, popularly known as Mobad. The suit filed by Break the Silence Foundation argues that key aspects of the earlier investigation were not adequately explored. The court dismissed an application by an interested party seeking to join the case, while the foundation insists a fresh probe is necessary to ensure transparency, accountability, and justice nearly 3 years after the singer's death.
In other news, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja has now fixed September 29, 2026 for judgment in a fresh suit seeking to compel the Inspector General of Police to reopen investigations into the death of Nigeria's singer Iriolua Aloba, popularly known as Mobad. Justice Omotosho fixed the date after hearing argument in the matter filed by Break the Silence Foundation as the plaintiff. The controversial death of the 27-year-old musician sparked public outrage, with most of his fans alleging foul play. The perceived failure of security agencies to properly investigate the circumstances surrounding his death.
So I need to reiterate that Nigerians, wherever you're listening to me, as you can see, the Nigerian public, they want honest and discreet investigation into Mohbad's case. The executive, via the office of the president, they've already directed that they should do the right thing. And God willing, on the 29th of September 2026, the Honorable Federal Judge of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will give the same sentiment by the special grace of God. And when that stands, the only enemy the Nigerian public will be facing, the only person that will be looking into that the all justice for Mobad will lie on is the Inspector General of Police. Is he going to be on the side of the public and justice? We would know, and we will test our resolve. The police can make the country to stand united and out of violence and internal conflict if they understand the nitty-gritty of doing what the public and the system of the law and the administration of the country wants. And if they choose to want to keep the country in flames, we will see. And that is why, at the end of the day, all major foreign organizations, all embassies, these are the kind of trails that they follow. Because majority of them, they look into what happened in the host country. Is there imminent, crisis coming? What are the grounds for it? And these are the steps you see that are very crucial in pursuit of justice. You could see, the media are giving the right attention. I have just played to you all the major media outlets in Nigeria that is being monitored by Office of the President, Office of all the governors, the chief press secretaries, and all the major media departments of all the embassies in Nigeria. These are where they monitor. These are where they see that, this case are getting serious. And the attention of all the media houses, Punch newspaper, TVC, Arise News, Channels Television, AIT, all of them. And trust me, on the 29th of September, by the special grace of God, some of the foreign media outlets, international media organizations, they've contacted Break the Silence Foundation that they would love to be there. They want to, monitor and see, and let's see. And we trust in the integrity of the judiciary and the reputation of the Honorable Justice James Omotosho. He is a man of timber and caliber. He's a man, he's a father. He believes in the progress of this country, and he has been able to listen to our arguments through our counsel and understand that a reinvestigation is crucial. This case we have started since April 2026. And of course, by the special grace of God, by September, when that mandamus is given, it has suffered some scare. Many things have been thrown towards our side to see that that case does not see the light of the day. But God willing, it's escaped, it's pulled through, and it's weathered the storm. So Nigerians, as soon as that is happening, nobody they will be giving the directive to. The presidency, they gave the directive to the Office of Inspector General of Police. The judgment of a judge will also be directed to the Office of Inspector General of Police. And if the Inspector General of Police now says, I am bigger than the president, I am bigger than the judge, I am bigger than the Federal High Court, I will stick with the killers of Mobad and I will not direct our investigation. We will see, but trust me, I am counting on the integrity of the Inspector General of Police, Tuji Disu. He will stand by the masses. He will stand by the temple of justice. He knows that these people, there is a report already available at the FCID, Force Criminal Investigation Department, where Omomi Cynthia Adebanjo is already being investigated for murder alongside 8 individuals. If there are more people, pack them together, send them to court, let them go and have their day in court and tell the court why they cannot or they should not be sentenced for murder, why they have been free. And then trust me, that justice that we are waiting for will come. But there are some steps we have to take, and we must take it penultimate to the judgment and after the judgment. But the one I will tell us to do now is to probably engage, do billboards 2 weeks or a week before the judgment that will run through September. And then what we will do after the judgment is passed, I will still come to speak it here. And don't worry, I'm in a very good place to educate, to inform, and to energize us to take some certain steps that will bring the justice over. I only appeal for patience, decorum, and optimism that justice that the public so deserve and ask for in this matter will come to fore. All of them that messed up, betrayed Mobad, compromised, sold their souls for pots of porridge, they should have their day in court and they should be paying for the crimes committed. Nobody is asking them to be greedy. Nobody is asking them not to stand well and fight. Untoju or conjure only. I want to mind Jenny saying, to man backstab.
Welcome back. That was profound. That is something deep. This is one of the things that we have been encouraging, and well, I will say it and I will repeat it as someone who has been on this journey of justice for Mobad. I will not lie to you. I will tell you as it is. The suggestions that came from inspiration that we gave to Yomi Fabi life, this is not something that was told later and then he tried to implement it. I'm talking about something that he did live. I mean, come on, we were all on that live video when Yomi Fabi went to that house. He was made to carry out certain investigation, but unfortunately the CCTV that would have helped us was truncated by the same people who claim that they are for justice for Mobad, and now they are back on justice for Mobad with some kind of unreasonable sentiments and all of that. I ask myself, what will prompt anybody who is seeking for justice for Mobad to pick the address, the video of it, the picture of it, and post of a man who said, you know what, I'm going to give you guys the CCTV as a neighbor, as someone on the street of Mobad's house. I'm going to give you guys video. Look at it. Let us corroborate stories together. Unfortunately, everything didn't work out as it should. We started seeing some lame arguments, and people were taking sides, and before we could say Jack Robinson, everything got muddled up. The picture of the house of the man was placed on social media. The man panicked and he said, hey, I don't know about it, oh, don't let them come and unalive me. Of course, who in his or her right senses will allow himself, for whatever reason, at all. For whatever reason, who in his right senses will allow himself to be put out there publicly, and then he wants to be the messiah when he knows that this case is becoming very tacky. This case is becoming very is starting to look funny. Who in his right mind will want to do that? Obviously, nobody. We lost that access. At least, if the CCTV does not show 100% what we are expecting, at least, I mean, let's say show Mobad how he fell, what happened, how it didn't happen, where Cynthia went, where she didn't go, whatever. At least we'll be able to corroborate stories that we were told. When did they come back? At what time? What happened to this? What happened to that? We'll be able to corroborate stories. It will make sense. But unfortunately, just like Yomi Fabi said, it was so premeditated. They all agreed among themselves. These are people who were around Mobad. They agreed among themselves. We shall not put out videos or anything that will give justice to Mobad. Let us all sit and act like we do not know. Now, let us even say none of them knows or is behind, and it's just a mystery. Something just happened and they could not manage it, and it happened as it happened. Why did Cynthia and Mobad's brother quickly run to the courts trying to pick Mobad's money and make it theirs? Like, without consulting the father of the deceased? Who does that? Who does that? Maybe they did it because Mobad's father had already pulled some funny card with the 70, 30 man. The man who is so funny. It is so funny. Imagine someone is not alive and he has been reduced to profit and nothing more, to money and nothing more.